think they take parents' feedback into consideration, right? So when we are formulating the goals, if we have, let's say, if it's reading or reading comprehension or writing or whatever, right, in terms of the academic skills, they actually listen to that, and then they'll say, okay, do we have the necessary skills to teach that, right? If not, then let's start there, right?
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
We have been with AIM or Autism in Mind for more than 5 years now. I think we started in 2016, and our son is on the autism spectrum. So initially it was to get the ABA, therapy, speech, and OT, and all the other services they offer. And then when we learned that they are opening a new private school starting September, which is basically on September 13th, we were super excited to go to that school. So for us, it's more about continuation of the learning that our son had with AIM for last 5 years, and a lot of staff that has worked with our son over the 5 years they're going to the new school. So that was our main criteria in terms of a natural progression from this current therapy center to the private school starting in September, which is in a few days. So we have basically seen a significant improvement in our son, right, in terms of the communication, in terms of behaviors, in terms of just academics in general. I think the staff is great. I think they listen to the parents, and especially Suki, who is the founder and service director at AIM. I think she's very receptive to the feedback from parents. So we have, as I said, we have seen significant changes in our son.
Yeah, actually, he likes going to school in general, right? Like, so far, his journey has been more one-on-one therapies with him, but obviously, like, we're looking forward to, the group-based where he really enjoys the overall school setup, and that's what kind of, excites him. So, yeah.
So the most favorite thing I would say is the staff. Like, there are some of the staff, the teachers at AIM. They have known him, as I said, from last 5 years or so. When he was 5 is when we started going to AIM, and he's 10 now, right? So they've seen how much skills he have gained over a period of time, and it's, I think, very fulfilling as a professional to see a child develop all the skills that you're trying to teach them. So I would say the favorite thing for my son is the staff, the people, and the teachers that work with him, and he really enjoys working with them, and there is this bonding that he has with the staff at AIM. I think our favorite thing as parents, for me, I'll let Priyanka answer after me, but for me, it's about AIM as an organization. I think if you look at how they started, I think they wanted to make a difference in the community, especially for kids and children on the autism spectrum and their families, right? So for me, it's about their mission, right? And Suki, the founder, she has this passion of helping kids on the spectrum and their families, right? And it's a passion that's reflected in her actions, not just in words. And that's my favorite thing. I think that the mission is there. It's true to heart, and she basically delivers on that every single day.
Yeah, and just to add on to it, the overall programs, right? Like, it's not just academic. What they're offering is also some other exciting programs after school, which personally, our son is really fond of, like, say, music, some gym activities and stuff like that. And then the other aspect is also that they offer various services at the same center, like speech therapy, OT. So we don't have to kind of navigate between centers and things like that. So that's very convenient.
One thing that would come to my mind is, and this is more about growing as an organization, is to hire more experienced staff, right? Staff that has experience working with kids at different age, right? Not just like early learners, but also like adolescents and young adults, right? So to me, I think when I see the services and the programs that our son will need few years down the road, it's more about, do we have the staff that has worked with those kids in the past, right? So that is something that I'll talk to Suki, and I know she's actually working on, but it's more about like, how do we get the top talent that's there out there, so that we basically are working with professionals that has been there, done that kind of thing. The highest value I would say is to me, I think it's giving back to the community, right? I think it's because AIM as a charity organization, they do a lot of community events. They have sponsors, and there are a lot of organizations who are donating for this. And I think depending on the financial situation of the families, I know they also offer some support, financial support to the parents too. So to me, I think it's about the mission that they want to make a difference in the life of kids and children who are autism and their family. And they're actually doing that in terms of different community events, in terms of the services they provide, listening to parents and their concerns, and making sure that they're meeting those needs. I think when we started, it was more around the kids who were on the spectrum or who had other exceptionalities or learning challenges, right? That's and kids that were newly diagnosed and they were looking for services. So that's one group. And then there were also parents who wanted to get the therapy, but they were on the wait list for government funding, because there's a huge wait list for government funding. And that's where I know AIM as an organization has helped multiple parents in providing the support, whether it's the lower rate or the subsidiary rate, right, based on the donations and the funding they receive from other sources. I think they have offered that to families. So I think it's a great opportunity for parents who wants to send their kids to therapy but don't have the financial resources to do so. I know kids AIM has helped those kids and their families too in the past. One proud moment, I think, where it's when they have this Christmas event.
So they actually had a little concert this past year. I know it was only virtual, but it was great, and he was actually participating, and it was great to see him perform. So it was a barrier, and it's something that we were all very proud of.
Yeah.
And AIM helped us make it happen. So it was nice to see that.
As I said, I think they take parents' feedback into consideration, right? So when we are formulating the goals, if we have, let's say, if it's reading comprehension or writing or whatever, right, in terms of the academic skills, they actually listen to that, and then they'll say, okay, do we have the necessary skills to teach that, right? If not, then let's start there, right? So we definitely have a lot of academic goals kind of baked into the programming. So, but then I think that's, again, it's a different area, but they always listen to the parents, and if there is a priority for parents, the academic skills, then I'm sure they kind of integrate that into the programming. Three reasons.
I think the number one would be the staff, because that's always been the number one, because Sir has established that bonding, and some therapists have been with him for such a long time. So it's that bonding, and that we appreciate the most. And
I think so. The first is the staff. Second, I would say open communication, right? So when it comes to what has he learned today, to what has he achieved in the last 6 months, to, okay, if I have any concerns, who do I go to, and do I think that my concerns are addressed in the right manner, right? So to me, I think the communication is key, right? And with AIM, we hardly had any issues with communication in terms of whether it's therapist or even the founder, Suki. I think so. Communication is, I think, very important. We have talked to a lot of parents where I think they don't know what, because the kids sometimes they can't tell the parents what they've learned or how his or her day was. So it becomes very important that there is an open communication channel between the staff and the parents, right? So staff number one, communication number two, and number three, I would say it's just AIM as an organization. I feel they're very receptive to parents' needs, right? And they will evolve, they'll add new programs, they'll make modifications based on what parents feedback is, right? So it's not just on paper. I think I've seen them making actual changes, material changes to the programs and other things around the programs depending on the feedback. So those are the three things I would say, three reasons. Number one thing I would say is talk to other parents. I wish I'd talked to other parents more, other parents who are in the same boat or who are a few years down the road in terms of the age of their kids, right? So I mean, a lot of times I think you don't have access to other parents who are going through the same, whether it's the emotional thing or what kind of services they need 1 year, 2 years down the road. So one of the things that I learned and the advice that I would like to pass on to new parents is talk to other parents, collaborate with other parents, network with other parents, and see what they have gone through, what kind of challenges they have faced, and how they overcome it.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.